So you want to play Skadi, but the only problem is you don't know how. Well, fret not, because I'm going to teach you how to play, build, and level Skadi all in this guide, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about Koldor, the Winter Wolf, which is Skadi's passive. Right now he's an elemental form, he follows you. He regenerates in this form his HP. He has 5 HP and has a little gauge on his head and on your HUD. Now, he can attack in beast form, and well, he does damage, and when he does die, he'll turn back into elemental form, and well, you'll get a 10% physical power boost until he regenerates 1 HP, and then the buff will go away. Skadi's 1 is a line attack that can hit several enemies. It slows enemies up to 40%, and when you sit Koldor on them and use your 1, well, he does double the amount of damage, which is very useful. So let's go ahead and move on to the rest of her kit. Let's talk about Skadi's 2, which is the ability to command Koldor to attack. Well, he attacks. It's pretty simple. You call him back and he comes back to you. Leveling the ability will unlock special abilities for Koldor, but let's move on to her 3. Let's talk about Skadi's 3, which she spawns a sheet of ice that slides enemies around it. It is extremely annoying. It also does tick damage when they are on it, and if you get on it, you get a speed boost or speed buff for 2 seconds after you leave the ice. It's good for running away. If enemies jump on you, kind of just put it on yourself and they can't really get to you. It's extremely annoying and very useful. Skadi's ultimate is this big ice storm that surrounds her and Koldor. It roots for 2 seconds and it fully restores Koldor's HP to max. It's extremely useful. It does tick damage, and let's move on to leveling. When leveling Skadi, the first thing I like to get is her 1, her 3, and then her 1. You could skip leveling your 2 for a very long time, and you could use it with 0 points in it, which is extremely useful. Now, level 4, I like to get my 2. You could hold out for as long as you want to. But next thing you're going to get is your ult, and then max out your 1, max out your 3, put any points into your ultimate when you can. But the takeaway is to wait until later in the game to get your 2 fully maxed. Before we get into the build portion of the video, if you guys like this type of content, please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into it. Bluestone Pendant is the starter item I like to get. You could go Bluestone Bridge or Corrupted Bluestone. They're both good. Now on Skadi, there's 2 ways to play. Either you could play attack speed, you know, the normal traditional way, like you could build on any other hunter, or you could go ability based, which is way more fun because it really works well in Skadi. Now, I'm going to be doing a hybrid build that takes the best of both worlds and puts them into one build. So let's go ahead and go into it. I like getting Transcendence. It gives you 35 physical power, 300 mana, and 10 MP5. And on top of that, when you fully stack it, it gives you a whole bunch of mana, giving you 10% cooldowns as well. Now, you could double stack, which I like double stacking. The only downside to this is you don't get to play the game until like 10 minutes in and you have both of your things stacked, and then you start building attack speed, which sucks, and it's not really fun until you get later in the game. But you are playing Hunter. But I'm going Crusher next. You could go 45 physical power, 10% attack speed, and at 15 physical penetration. And now on top of that, the passive makes your abilities deal more damage. Next item I like to go is Agi, giving you 25 physical power, giving you 15% physical lifesteal, 25% attack speed, and 15 physical penetration. With the added bonus of your passive, while below 35 health, you gain an additional 30% physical lifesteal for 5 seconds that can only occur every 15 seconds, which is awesome. Next item I like to go is Quinsace. Gives you 40 physical power, 20% attack speed, and your basic attacks deal bonus damage based off the maximum health of the enemy that you're fighting. So the more tankier, the more HP a target has, the more damage you'll do. Next item you have is Heartseeker, which does the same thing as Quinsace with the bonus damage, but on your abilities, which is really good. And on top of that, you get 65 physical power, 200 mana, 20 MP5, and 10% physical penetration. Now, of course, this is without Soul Eater, but with Soul Eater, if you were going to take out one item, I would take out Agi, because Soul Eater does give you lifesteal. Now, you could go Ichval, which is a great anti-hunter item that lowers the attack speed of things that you basic attack. You could go Toxic Blade, which is anti-heal, pretty straightforward. And Griffin Wing Earring had all the negative effects taken away. So there's no reason not to build the item. It's a pretty cool item. It's fun. Play around with it a little bit. Other relics that I would recommend are Purification Beads. You could go Aegis. If you want to be a little risque, you could go Belt of Frenzy or maybe Shell. There's Blink if you're good at Blink. Go ahead and use Blink. But if you guys like this type of content, please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.